Hello and a warm welcome to Federal Special Program Capital Beat. Uttar Pradesh government has issued a 10-point directive banning caste-based political rallies, the public display of caste names on vehicles and signboards, and the mention of caste is most police records. Now, the order which was issued by the officiating State Chief Secretary, Mr. Deepak Kumar, to all the district magistrates and police chiefs aims to eliminate the caste-based discrimination and is based on a Allahabad High Court judgment was delivered last week, I think on September 16th. Now, the High
Yeah.
Court's directions, however, came in a case that had nothing to do with caste discrimination. It was a plea by an alleged liquor smuggler seeking to have the criminal case against him dropped. Now, what does this government order say? Because a lot of people have already started discussing this. Now, the government order clearly prohibits a range of public displays of caste identity. Most significantly, it imposes a complete ban on caste based political rallies across the state, stating that they promote social conflict and are a threat to public order and national unity. The order also takes aim at the common practice of displaying caste names, slogans, and stickers on vehicles, directing authorities to challan such vehicles under the Central Motor Vehicles Act. In public spaces, the signboards or the proclamations that glorify a particular caste or declare certain areas as caste territories or estates are to be removed immediately. Now, there is another major procedural change for the law enforcement. The order bars the mention of accused person's caste in most police records. The first information reports, that is FIRs, recovery memos, and arrest memos. Now, it directed the caste column for the accused to be deleted from the Central Crime and Criminal Tracking Network and a systems crime portal, and for the mother's name of the accused to be recorded along with the father's. Now, how has opposition taken this order? Obviously, they've called it an eyewash and nothing but to suppress the voices of the Dalits, the backwards, the marginalized. In fact, Akhilesh Yadav has come up with some 5 questions based on this decision. He's said that what will be done to remove the caste discrimination that has been ingrained in our minds for 5,000 years, and what will be done to eradicate caste discrimination arising from caste display through clothing, costumes, and symbols. He further asks that what will be done to end the caste discrimination mentality of asking someone's caste before their name when they meet them. What measures will be taken to end the caste based discrimination of getting someone's house washed? And what will be done to end caste based conspiracies to defame someone by making false and defamatory allegations? So, the big question we are asking this evening is, why did Yogi government issue an order like this? Is it some kind of a masterstroke, or is this a conspiracy against the opposition? And specifically because it is in UP, is it a conspiracy against the politics of PDA of Akhilesh Yadav? Joining me this evening is senior journalist, political commentator, and author Sharat Pradhan. Sharatji, thank you so much. We have Sunita Aron, who's a consulting editor to Hindustan Times Lucknow, author and political commentator. Thank you so much for joining. We have Shaira Naeem, senior journalist and political commentator. Thank you, Shaira ji, for joining. And I'll begin with Sharat Pradhan. Sharat ji,
Yeah.
how do you really make of this particular order, and where on one hand the central government talks about a caste census, and here you have a Yogi government which is purging all the castes in Uttar Pradesh? What is this?
Well, I think there could be 3 reasons behind it. One is and one the foremost appears to be Yogi Adityanath's his own. It's a figment of his own thoughts, and he wants to take the lead in anything that goes on in this country. More often than not, and he doesn't mind even if it goes at variance with what the Delhi leaders are doing. That he's already known to be, there's a lot of conflict of ideas and conflict of thought, conflict of politics between Lucknow and Delhi. So it could be a result of that also, and could be because everybody knows, not leave alone other things. Mr. Modi had to use his caste. You remember how he described himself as a
Yes.
backward, and he said how he has been run down by, particularly he named the Congress at that point of time. Anyway, he had to use his caste. Mr. Modi has never said anything against use of caste by political parties who are his allies, and they are there only for the base. For instance, whether it is Anupriya Patel's party or her other sister in UP, you have Rajbhar's party. They named after them, Nishad party. So is Mr. Yogi Adityanath going to do away with all these allies? What are his plans? Certainly, Mr. Modi is not going to like it. The other thing, as you rightly pointed out, could be facing this threat from Akhilesh Yadav's PDA. Akhilesh Yadav has been able to build this campaign in the name of PDA. Now, at least now, and now that elections are less than 2 years from now, so Yogi thinks that he could counter it, but I consider it a I don't see this in any way helping him to counter Akhilesh Yadav's PDF. Another very dangerous design behind this could be to his aim to unite Muslims. He thinks that he can get Hindus united. Sorry, not uniting Hindus against Muslims. I'm sorry. So of course, that has always been his main card is propagating and spreading hatred against Muslims. So he might be thinking that if this way, because he believes in diktats, I mean, I don't blame him for that because all Matadishas do that. Matadishas are made to think that way, that their word is law. So if he thinks that if he's going to tell everybody, okay, from today, no caste, everybody get united, become a Hindu and follow me, could be that. And yet another design could also be the beginning of a new move to do away with reservations. Because as it is, BJP Walas and Yogi ji himself has very proudly, he has proclaimed himself as a proud Thakur. And this is on a regular mainstream TV channel. He had said this. Of course, he might have forgotten. The BJP Walas are used to forgetting things what they said earlier, then they retract there. So whatever, all these things, the Akhilesh thing is a political move. Makes sense. Okay, you can make an effort. I don't think it'll succeed. But the others are very dangerous designs which could hurt the Indian society, even the Hindu society, who they claim to be championing the cause.
Right. All right. So let me come to Sunita ji. How does it manifest from now on? Like not only in UP, but across the country, you have these caste-based rallies where politicians put stickers on their cars. They go to certain territories and they say that, okay, look, this is a Thakur-dominated area. This is a Muslim-dominated area. This is a Gurjar-dominated area. Now, are they going to ban rallies in all these areas? Politicians are not supposed to carry stickers on their cars. They will not carry any symbol of identity. What happens then? Is there going to be a pushback from these caste groups? Because Yogi Adityanath is almost thinking of a casteless society, whereas the political reality on the ground says something else. The entire political fabric is based on politics. And Yogi is trying to do something which is unthinkable.
Neelu, let me first talk about the caste discrimination that you were talking about when you introduced the debate. I doubt it'll end discrimination, because today you ask any Jatav in Agra, which is called the Bhim Nagari, there are people are calling them Chamarin, Chamar, and all that. They are addressed by their caste. Second, when the BJP wanted to woo Jatavs and scheduled caste, they had a scheduled caste laying the foundation stone of a temple, Ram temple. And then they had another, when he went to Varanasi, then also he met so many, Prime Minister went to Varanasi. Again, there was a galaxy of, you could see leaders plus Dalits there. So it's not going to end discrimination, because even today, I think Dalits, they have their own well. Every caste have their own well. They have their own tolas, and it's not going to end caste discrimination. Coming to political rallies on caste lines were generally organized by Kashiram. After that, they are rallies, political rallies. They are not addressed as Yadav rally, Thakur rally. That is something which is very doable. You can remove caste and do your political rallies. As for the stickers, I think there have been orders earlier also, not only for this one only, that the stickers should not be allowed as per the Transport Department orders. Fourth point that you mentioned was about symbols. I think the symbols are being used even by officers. Why do they come to office with a tika on their forehead? Why do they carry a choti? More and
Yes.
more people are trying to do that. They're carrying symbols. So it's not only the political parties, but also the bureaucracy which will have to follow the dress code. It's a laid down dress code for them in office. Imagine a DGP of police or a senior cop or a senior officer putting a tika on Tuesday or any other day. You well, everybody is free to go to a temple, nobody stops them, but you're not supposed to go to work with tikas and all that, because you're not supposed to carry symbols. This is something which Ram Manohar Lohia had said कि चोटी हटाओ, ये सब जाति हटानी है तो पहले ये सब हटाओ, which Akhilesh Yadav has also reiterated. So I think he has gone overboard, Chief Minister, and used the High Court order. And the idea must be to contain opposition, and especially PDA. Now, Akhilesh can always call it Progressive Democratic Alliance. Is very good with words. In Hindi, something instead of calling Pichra and all that stuff. But it's not going to go down very well with the caste, at the ground level. Say, for example, if I don't talk about Punjab and Haryana, but if I talk about only Western UP, every rally is held with a caste affix to it. Or all of them, they meet on caste lines. So how are you going to stop? Because there was a Gujar meeting and the CM was very angry and he took some action. And today I think Bhatti has also reacted to it, that he got rattled by our coming together and that's why he has done it. So you won't be able to stop it. And even BJP leaders, they go around the state, meet various castes in small, small groups. They held a meeting in BJP office earlier. They have also held sessions earlier. So I doubt, and as Sharad said, that the Prime Minister flaunted his backward caste. It's not going to, I don't think so, it is feasible to implement it in toto, but definitely there is more political angle to it than the administrative part. Casteless society could be a dream, but a casteless society with reference to Sikh, Muslim, Isai doesn't help. If you can use, if you have criminal, if you're able to identify people on criminal lines, then casteless society, the idea was to bring social harmony. Yes, they are trying to rebuild their Hindutva vote bank, which got demolished in 2024 by PDA. How far it will help, I think it might boomerang. It may not be a master stroke. The caste may again say, look, we always said they are anti-Dalits, they are anti-backwards.
Yes.
Now, look, they're trying to suppress your voice by this. So it may boomerang also.
Right. So, the something, Shaira, which I wanted to also speak about is the fact that the order also says that if you now mention your caste, that is going to be considered as anti-national. Now, is it? I mean, how can you say that, and that make it part of the order that if you talk about the caste, it becomes anti-national. If you carry symbols of caste, you are liable to go to jail. If you carry stickers on your cars, you will be imprisoned or you'll be fined. And who knows how the police, and everybody knows how UP police responds to patterns like these. So what are we going to expect in the coming days?
We can expect more harassment in the coming days, because now, with this order, the police will pick and choose. They will go out and harass mainly the political opponents. That is what I see, because this I see as an attack on the opposition. And the scenario which has been built after 2024, especially the PDA, the caste-based survey in Bihar, now going on in Karnataka, promised by the BJP government all over. So, as Sharad said, the chief minister is a man who makes his own template, and this template is very often replicated across the country. So he is probably trying to counter this entire, caste based politics, which will reinforce the demand for more reservation. So just to counter it, he has come up with this court order. Court order must have been very independent, but this government picks and chooses which order to
Is there a pun?
implement.
Shaira, is there a pun that the court order must have been independent? In fact, I was about
Yes,
to ask
yes,
also to
yes.
Sharaji.
We all
No,
remember there was a
point
court
is,
order
Shaira, there are so many
after
orders,
after
Supreme Court orders.
17.
No,
I'll
Shaira,
cite you a lot of
There,
examples. I'll cite you a lot of examples,
there,
Needu, on that.
so
yes,
I'll give you a
many
lot of
court
examples.
orders have come, and they have never been implemented. They
yes,
have been,
So
exactly.
not only implemented,
contempt of
there
court also.
Shara, I'm sorry to interrupt, but there are Yogi Adityanath in particular. There have been court
Yes,
orders which have been circumvented by
Yes,
yes,
enacting a
yes,
new
yes,
law.
right.
And the most recent example is that during this period of this Kavad
Kamala.
Yatra,
But yes, yeah, yeah.
when the court clearly ordered, the High Court ordered, Supreme Court ordered that no displaying of names of those who are running eateries. And because this fellow wanted this to be done, they
yeah.
circumvented the law because they
He,
wanted Muslims out
he
of the route.
Yes,
yeah. So
So
so the
they
court
enacted a
order,
new law.
I don't believe in the court order. He doesn't believe it. He picks and chooses. So I
no, so
think
are
there
you
is
saying, Shaira, just
something
hear me
very
out. Are you,
sinister.
no, yeah, yes, I was exactly coming to that word that do you see a sinister design? Maybe. I'm
Yes,
not
yes,
saying, I'm
yes.
not pointing direct fingers at High Court, but you think that the order was
No.
brought in deliberately to
See,
cater
it,
to this kind of
it,
an agenda?
it, it is a single bench, single judge order.
Yes,
It could have been challenged. They could have been, gone for a larger thing. He just kind of pounced upon it, and because it suits him at this moment, in his whatever he has imagined to do at a to do at a UP level, and then tomorrow probably this template would be picked up for
yes,
political
quite possible.
reasons.
No, the bulldozer
So
model was picked up. The bulldozer model was picked up across the country. Many
yes,
states picked
the
it up.
bulldozer
Yeah.
model was picked up. The love jihad was picked up.
Yes,
The he has done so many things which is considered to be kind of something to follow and be
right.
more Hindu than others.
Right. In fact, this is an important point, and I'd like to get in Sharaji and Sunita also on
Yeah.
this. A high court order like this, a single bench order, Justice Devakar giving an order like this, and then straight away it is lifted off by the state government. There is no appeal, nothing. What would you really say to this?
Well, it's not only just picking it up. 16th, the court order comes, and 21st, a government order which normally takes a lot of time. It needs a lot of deliberations. It requires a lot of study. Is issued by the chief secretary on the 21st. It's a 6-page, 10-point order which says a lot of things. So obviously there is even some people are even suspecting that the even petition was stage managed. So whatever it might be, one can't say. But the whole it is a design. And it's a very devious design. That is why I say it is not as simple as that to play politics and to counter PDA. He's
No,
done
but
it.
whose
There is
brainchild is
definitely
it?
a
Supposing for a few seconds we believe that this is a sinister design, whose brainchild is it? Is Yogi Adityanath trying to play a game of one-upmanship over Prime Minister Modi? Because here at the center, uh, the government is talking about a caste census, and Yogi is talking totally opposite of a casteless society, which will lead to apparently more chaos in UP.
I'm sure. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised from what you suspect. Even I wouldn't be surprised if that is the case, because one-upmanship is of at the core of Yogi's mind,
Episodic.
and everybody knows how ambitious he is, how he's eyeing for the top job, and that's the reason the Delhi walas see him as an eyesore. So that of course that bit is there, but and on the face of it, he wants to show this to his people that he is building this as a force of a united Hindu force against Muslims, because that is whole politics is about Hindu Musliman. So in that game, he is hoping that he'll be able to take that one-upmanship comes in there. It's not only for ahead of Modi, but ahead of all the other chief ministers. You will see this model being replicated in a couple of other states, particularly those who are always looking for how to beat Modi in his, beat Yogi in his this game of Hindu Musliman. You will find it happening in Assam, where elections are due. You will find it happening in Uttarakhand. These two chief ministers are very, very particular about whatever Yogi does. They think that's the right thing and that's the only way to go up. But little do they realize that if they come in, if they come in the way of the man sitting at the helm of affairs, what will happen to them? They then they realize it is too late. So this man is capable of doing anything. As I said, when it suits him, the law of the High Court order is implemented like this. And the way it has been done, never before has any High Court order. As I said,
No,
there's
the,
not one occasion, several occasions
Sharal,
where he has
sorry to
not
interrupt
only
you.
appealed.
I think Shaira wants to make a point. Yes, Shaira. Yes.
Yeah, here it was 4 days. Do you remember the Sambal order?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Within a
yeah.
few hours, it started. It was working.
Yes.
So, so,
So
so
that
that is the kind of objectivity he follows. He looks at the
yes,
object, not a object
Right.
is his subject, object and
Right.
his subject. So that
So
is the tragedy, and this is I can tell you, this is the design that, of course, only Yogi would be knowing what is the design, but whatever it is going to have serious repercussions in society. How much it will help him in politics, I have all doubts. But it will certainly have serious and adverse repercussions on the society. But that
right.
serves their indirect purpose. If you can vitiate the atmosphere, social environment, social fabric, it suits him.
Right. No, but I'm going to come to Sunita on this. That do you expect some kind of a pushback from the political parties, especially the opposition, which has already begun to say that it's an eyewash and you need to change the mindset first. But whoever opposes this will equally be in the dock, because the ones who will be opposing it, they will be again accused of the fact that they are gunning for caste, they are wanting a caste politics, they believe in caste. So that is the accusation which they will have to face. So is it like a double-edged sword now? I mean, the political party, especially the opposition, will have to think twice before they even oppose this issue.
No, I think I have a different view altogether. I think the BJP will think about it because it doesn't suit the BJP. Keshav Prasad Maurya. Maurya is a caste. Is he going to remove it? Akhilesh Yadav. Will Yadav be removed? It's a caste. Suresh Yadav, I think that's the name of the Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister. Will he remove Yadav if it becomes an order which to be implemented at the national level? There are so many
Mohan Yadav.
castes. Mohan Yadav. There's so many castes that go with the name. So you're not going to remove them, or are you going to order this? If I don't know if he's going to order this also, that remove all the caste affixed to your names. It's not possible. I have a feeling there'll be deliberation at the political level in BJP, and the pushback button which you are talking about may be pressed by some BJP leaders first. As for the opposition, Mayawati, who did the most caste rallies, who did only caste politics, is very silent. She has not even uttered a word. Akhilesh Yadav has reacted, but he has not very strongly as one expected him to. I think whatever opposition may come, it may come from some of the caste groups. But let's wait and watch. I have a feeling there'll be a little rethinking about it within the BJP instead of other caste doing, because politically it doesn't suit them so much.
Yes, and also
How
the
does it?
point which
And also one thing more, the RSS have also spoken about, the Mohan Bhagwat, that there should not be any caste, we should not mention caste, and we should try, the Hindus should be together and all. This is an effort to bring them together, but not at the expense of their resentment. If the caste and the caste groups are resenting it and they feel the decision is against them, then it doesn't help them to rebuild their Hindutva vote bank. Yeah, Nilu, you were saying something.
No, I was saying that when you say that there is going to be a rethink, what does that mean? Will they go for an appeal in the court, or the opposition parties will
No, no, no.
reassert
You see,
themselves?
no, no.
And
You see,
also on the BJP allies, which you mentioned, which Sharaji was also talking about, will there be some kind of a nervousness and unease amongst the BJP allies, like the Nishad
no,
party and
you
several
see,
others?
if OP Rajpur is told to remove Rajpur, if Sanjay Nishad is told to remove Nishad, these are castes. They flaunt their caste. Their
See, the
politics
party
is
is
based
named,
on
party is called Nishad Party.
party is called that. So, is he going to write to the EC to ban all these parties, which are named after caste? Anupriya Patel, Kurmi, she does Kurmi politics. So that's why I'm saying that there'll be some rethinking. Maybe, they will not go to the High Court. They will not go in for appeal, but quietly they'll tone down the order. Somehow that's my gut feeling. I may be wrong also. I have a feeling that politically it will not suit them, and once they rethink, this could be a bureaucratic decision. Once the political people will think about it, because it has been done in the haste, once they start thinking about it, then maybe it won't be implemented in toto. It will just remain something on the paper which gives him some brownie points against, say, center or whosoever he wants to, but it doesn't help him politically. I don't think so, because Yogi is fighting caste charge against himself. So it will be seen that again a Rajput is trying to suppress the voice of the backwards by telling them not to talk about these issues, not to talk about their caste issues, because the discrimination in welfare schemes, or not in welfare schemes, but in the welfare, is based on caste. When the SCs continue to suffer
Yes.
because of what? Because they are Dalits. They are not able to contest for their own, they don't have voice. Mayawati gave them some voice, but they don't have voice. So the entire system is caste based. And in a system which is caste based, you can't be saying that don't talk about your caste. So what do we say? That I am a Dalit. A lady goes to the police station. A Dalit, she can't say that वो राजपूत का बेटा या ब्राह्मण का बेटा या बैकवर्ड का बेटा कुर्मी के बेटी ने हमारे साथ किया. After all, that means the caste clashes that are so, well, that have been there for years. What are we going to say? That somebody raped a Dalit girl? And once it is not mentioned in the police records, then what about the inquiries? As such, the police doesn't help the poor Dalits in such cases. So the upper caste finds an excuse.
Yeah.
It will be an escape for them.
Right.
So it's not easy. It's not easy, When I think about it, I think there are a lot of issues which they'll have to look into, especially this police point.
Right. I think Sharaji wants to make a point, and then I'll come for the concluding comment. Sharaji. Yes.
Well, Neelu, the point is that in number of cases, what Sunita said reminds me of those very many cases of heinous crimes against women, including gang rapes. There have invariably the culprits have been from the upper caste, largely Thakurs. And women in this case have been from the lower caste, and every time there has been complete sustained effort to defend and protect the culprits, the rapists, whether it was Badayu or whether it was I'm forgetting the name of those places,
Hathras,
those women, how
Hathras, Unnao,
Hathras and
Unnao.
Unnao, yes, yes, in all these cases. So and this is, it could also be a design to protect those people. Although there is an exemption in this order, there's an exemption for Dalits and scheduled castes. That means scheduled castes and scheduled tribes are exempted from this order, which is not within Yogi's domain, because it's a part of the constitution that he'll have to wait until he amends the constitution. So they cannot do it. And another thing which I wish to point out is that caste, this whole thing, I'm sure, is going to hit people like Keshav Prasad Maurya. Keshav Prasad Maurya was one person when he was president of the party. When BJP first came to power, Keshav Maurya was and that is why he has these issues with Yogi Adityanath, because he was hoping to get the mantle which was usurped by Yogi Adityanath. So that's Keshav Maurya at that point of time as president of the party held series of caste rallies, and that is how they were able to mobilize a lot of the backwards to get BJP to ride onto power. See and Mr. The great chief minister, the manner in which he is facing this accusation of promoting his own caste. There have been a number of I was on another channel a little while ago, and they were pointing out how in the selection process you may remove these people, all these caste labels from political fora. But what about appointments in the government? The data that has been collected by people from Samajwadi Party and the Congress in UP clearly shows that selections made, whether in universities, colleges, in the police, in everywhere, the bulk of the people selected, or a large percentage, come from the same caste as Yogi Adityanath. So it's very, very ironical, and it is very, very contradictory. So but there is certainly some design, and as Sunita also predicted, I also feel ultimately they'll have to backtrack. And BJP is very good at backtracking. They always forget what had happened,
Obviously.
so they go back.
Okay,
Just
so I'll
one
come
point.
to Shubhaji for the yes, Sunita ji.
Yes,
Yes.
one point. Neelu, when we are talking about SC/ST, that their names can be mentioned, then the victim's caste will be there. What about the perpetrator's caste? That won't be mentioned. So
That
what is
won't even.
important is that
That is what I
his
said.
caste will be there.
That is
Second,
what I said. The idea is to protect them.
yeah. Second, when you're talking about quota, then quota is also for backwards. So if in the application they don't mention their caste, how do they get the benefit? No, they're very, very, the more we think about it, the questions will keep on coming. But the first is that Keshav Prasad Maurya should be told to remove Maurya, and that is what the BJP should do first. That I don't remember, there are some Rajputs, there are some other castes also fixed. If we look at the list, we'll find so many of them, MLAs and all of them. So the first
No,
thing should
Rajvar.
be
So
done by them.
OP Rajvar, the name is Rajvar.
Rajvar should be told you call yourself OP, and Sanjay should become Sanjay. So I think the political parties, the ruling party should start. They should take the lead by removing all these caste labels. Ask the opposition leaders to remove the caste labels. The political setup has to first make the changes. Tell your officers to remove tikas and cut their chotis and come to office in the dress code prescribed for them. And then you can take it further to the tolas and to the panchayats.
So,
And Lohia was one person. Sorry to interrupt. Ramanohar Lohia was one person who had started this ages ago. And he succeeded when he started this movement. He ensured that people who joined him, who followed him, they removed their caste from their names as a suffix. And they all did it. They would call them Kumar or whatever, but no surname, no caste.
all right.
These people doing it, this is double standards.
No, so after listening to all of you, it seems like a misplaced concept. Of course, the idea is very good, but
Idea is
without
very good.
changing the mindset of the people, how do you really implement it? Is it not going to result in the brutal force of the police, which is going to manifest on the ground? Shaira, what would you really like to say towards the end?
See, at the end, in an ideal world, it would have been a very good decision. But we are not living in an ideal world. We we want equity, not equality. Equality cannot come without equity. So
That's right.
in India at this moment, caste is used for political mobilization, and every party is doing it across board. Some some successfully, some with less success. So this appears to be an idea of controlling those who are doing it with much more success.
Right. All right. I think
That's
you
all I'll
summed it
have
up.
to say because
Yeah. No, no, no. You summed
time
it
is
up
short. I can carry on.
absolutely well. Yes.
Nilu, one
Let's,
line. First,
yes.
they'll have to change the way politics is done in our country. If
Yeah,
they have to
absolutely.
make a casteless society, then the way we do politics, it has to change. If they're able to decide that all their office bearers, ministers will not be selected on caste lines, if ticket distributions are not done on caste lines, there's so many things. Then perhaps it's a good move. Let's have a casteless, and then again I'll say, don't even talk about communities. I think you can't have social harmony if you start describing, okay, we will not talk about caste, but we can talk about Muslim, Sikh, Isai, we can mention communities. I think that will be wrong. So to build a
Absolutely.
social harmony, they need to change the way they do work.
Yes, and then BJP, of course, should not think about social engineering before every election. They're
Ah,
not for the
yes.
social engineering. So, on this note, let's wish good luck to Mr. Yogi Adityanath on how he's going to implement. Uh, Hopefully, we should see some good changes coming in, but will they come? That's a big question. I'll have to end it here. Thank you so much, Sharat ji, Sunita ji,
Thank you.
Shaira. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you.
Well.